Hi, I'm Kyle, a tired therapist.
And I'm Jackie, also a tired therapist.
And together, we are Two Tired Therapists.
Welcome to the pod.
I forgot to tell you.
Oh, what?
There's two bitches going around talking shit.
Who?
You and me, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
Love that.
Sometimes I got them. Sometimes
That's a good one. I was like, wait, what?
What?
I was
Wait
like,
a minute. I know.
Pull
We've
up our
been sitting
Instagram
here.
and be like, here's all the hater comments.
I know. We've been sitting here spilling the tea, so I thought that'd get you with like, oh.
I know.
What else?
I know.
What
Producer
else is
Justin's been
going
yelling
on?
at us for about 10 minutes now.
Well, what's new? What's new? It's another day. It's another day of recording.
Exactly.
Two tired therapists.
Right. Well, how are you?
It's been a long week, as I've been sharing with you.
Yes, you did.
Off the air.
You did mention that a little bit.
It feels like it should be like November because it's been such a long week. But it's not.
It is not.
I can prove because I have added many new things that are tired to my list. This week.
I have not. So I'm ready.
I wish I could share them all with you, but I will. I will save them. I will save them. But if that tells you anything,
I love it. Then tell us what is making you
Well,
you started off.
I don't even know where to start.
Oh my God.
Let's go. Okay, let's go because this happened today, so we'll go with this one. I think people who, and we may have talked about this before, but I think it's an important topic.
We're gonna get to a point where we probably repeat and/or they're gonna be really similar, a la like the episodes of like
literally
Money 2 or whatever. Yeah.
Well, only because we come after parents a lot and parenting, but people who, when you ask how old is your baby and they tell you in months,
I can't.
We have to stop. I think if your baby is like 2 months old, fine, because there's no other way to say that. Right. Like they're 2 months old. But when you're getting to like, oh, they're 27 months. No. They're two. They're two.
I think it's acceptable for 18 months and under. And then I feel like at that point you got to start converting it.
At that point, I don't want to do the math.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
right.
My multiplication tables of 12 were the worst. I don't do.
You don't want to be like, well. I'm 207 months old.
Right. I'm 1,438 months old. Like what?
Oh my God. I just did the math on mine. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm like, oh, that seems like a lot.
Wait, let me do it on mine. Wait, hold on.
It is a lot.
Well, but you have to add.
Add what?
Wait, that's not right.
You do 12 times your age.
Well, plus the extra months.
What extra months?
Because you have to do all the months.
That's true.
So like, let's see, my birthday's in April, so it's more October, April. So that's like plus 6 more. Yeah, so I'm not going to say it because that's not appropriate. But we got to stop. We got to stop doing that. I think
it's a little.
Like once they hit 1, like they're 1. No, like they're 15, they're 1. They're 1.
You don't want to hear anything past 12 months.
1.5, almost 2. Like those should be the only acceptable.
Yeah.
The only acceptable ones.
I'm not a human parent, but yeah, when the dogs were little, it was hard after a year, and then I finally just gave up and was like, he's almost a year.
Almost,
he's like,
yes.
Whatever.
Yes. I mean, but there are people out there who like they're almost 5 years old, and people are like doing that math. They're 52 months. No.
Do you ever see like the Instagram moms that are just like, I don't know. This is what this reminds me of, is like the Instagram moms. Like there was this thing going around. This is not baby related, but there was a couple of months ago at this point, there was like she's a younger mother, and she was at her son's football game. She was very dressed not as I would think you would. Like she was wearing like super tight white jeans and like a blue tube top and like super high heels, and she's got to be like in her mid to late 30s, and her son's like 15, and she like ran up to him and gave him a hug, but it was like a little more like, oh, like she like wrapped her legs around him. It was a little weird. People in the comments were like, oh. And then they obviously like attacked her and her son, and like she did this whole thing. I don't know. That's kind of what the months thing reminds me of, is like people. It sounds bad, but people like that. Like
yeah. Like what's
like
your angle?
She posted another picture of her at the football game, and I was like, she looked like his girlfriend. Like that's how young she was dressed, and she's probably like 38 or 39. Right. I think is what she said.
Yeah. What's your angle? Why are you telling me that they're 98 months?
No.
Why are you doing that?
No, that's weird.
First of all, I'm not gonna do that math because I couldn't do it. Couldn't tell you how many years that is right now.
No, I couldn't do it either. You're right, though. I had to have to add. Oh,
yeah.
I don't want to talk about how old
Let's not talk about that. Let's move on. Jackie, what's going on with you? What's tired for you this week?
I'm going to bring back an oldie that I haven't haven't thought about it in a while.
It's the weather, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I mean, oldie in my mind, I've always been tired of this thing. And I sometimes will talk about it to people and then they're like, you're right. And you know what I get really tired of seeing is when you're like at the gym and somebody's on their phone, like either texting or on a call. It happened to me when I was in college a lot. I would go to the fitness center because I really thought I was, a fit girly, get on my elliptical for 25 minutes and then be done. That's my only workout every day.
And then go get like Burger King.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Then go to the, Commons, get Burger King. It's fine. And so, but one time I was there and there was this girl, she was on a treadmill and she was texting. And this was like, well, I don't want to say what year it was, but this was when texting was early texting. That's dating me. It's fine. And she'd stopped. She would stop. She was like walking on the treadmill. She'd stop to text, walk for like 30 seconds, get a text back, stop. I mean, she wasn't even really, yeah, she would stop on the treadmill. She'd like stop on, like put her legs on the sides and then read the text, respond to it, then start back up again. But she never went more than like, I would say a minute in between. So she would be like walking for 30 seconds, stop for 10, walk for 30, stop for, and I was like, what? I'm like, this isn't even a workout anymore. No. Like, why are you?
Right.
Anyways, that always makes me tired. And I've seen it since, but when I was in college, I felt like I saw it a lot. That's when I went to the gym.
Multitasking. It's not a real thing.
I'm like, but you can't call it a workout if you're like stopping in the middle.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Anyways, I'm tired of that behavior. Yeah. Like, if you're going to be at the gym, then put your phone away or have it for music or whatever you use it for. Yeah.
You're really sounding like an alpha.
Don't use the F word with me, okay?
Don't use the F word. Right. Call her the F word.
I think about that a lot.
Don't
the
wipe
F
your
word
asshole.
thing. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
That's you.
I know. I'm getting the next round of Reddit stories ready.
Oh,
and they are...
I can't.
We might have to take a break. We might have to wait till the new year for that one. Then we might have to take those are really just
maybe we can
rough.
do a special Christmas episode on Christmas Reddits.
Actually, that would be a really good one because people will be unhinged around the holidays.
Absolutely.
Did you ever find that? Oh, I mean,
when
we worked at the place that we worked at together, I felt like the holidays was like an unhinged time for people.
Yeah, well, right now, I think that's why it's been a long week is because it's like, I don't know if I'd call it the calm before the storm, but it's the moment before the storm where it's like the pressure is building.
It was always end of September to like early November, people were coming in. I'd be like, oh, why are you coming in for services? And it was like, well, I'm going to get ready for the holidays. And I'm like, oh, it's like that. And they're like, yes. Right. I'm like, oh, yeah. I get it.
Near my family, so I want to K my ass all the time. It's like, well,
I can't.
Great.
I get it. Anyways. Well,
yeah.
This is
let's get to it because
you don't even know.
I literally, you told me we're the bare minimum of what we're doing.
I'm trying
you're doing.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm keeping it somewhat topical. When this episode comes out, it'll have been a few weeks since this happened, but I was like, oh, this would be an interesting episode. So, the sad news of this week or last week or whenever it happened. The actor who played Dumbledore passed away. Not the original
Michael
one.
Gambon.
Michael Gambon, passed away. He was not the original because there was a different one and then he died. Then Michael Gambon took over and I think did a little bit better of a job.
Oh. That's an interesting hot take.
Oh.
I don't think people would agree with you.
Really?
His whole Goblet of Fire. Did you put your name in a Goblet of Fire? Right? Like that. Right. No, that was a no.
There were some liberties taken for sure.
Right.
But then
liberty,
but we can talk about this
we'll talk about it
because the arc of his character, I don't think that I don't
it was fine.
I think the first guy's name was like Richard Harris or something like that.
I think you're right.
I don't know that he could have played that whole thing. Anyway, so it got me thinking about Dumbledore because he's a very complicated character. Yes. A lot of people have like a lot of people love him. A lot of people are like, he was crappy.
I love where this is going because I just reread all the Harry Potter books, so I feel like this knowledge is going to come in handy.
Perfect, because I was like, I know Kyle's read the books more recently than I have.
See, kids, sometimes the universe provides.
Exactly.
And we're here. We're witness to
sometimes you and I are on the same wavelength and we don't even know it.
Know it.
But this is how I title, and this is maybe the title of the episode that I'll do. I put Albus Dumbledore, Menace to Society, or only gave a shit about himself.
Yeah, you guys can't see me, but I'm dead. I've died.
Because I was like, I'm like, I don't know, because I read the books when they came out, and I really haven't. I think I've read a few of them since, but I probably haven't read the books in about 15 years.
Oh my God.
And I know and I have all the books.
I've read them many times.
And I like the movies. So anyways, I was like, you know what? Let's talk about Dumbledore.
I'm ready.
Because
deep dive. I have it. I'm ready.
So I sat at my Google University and I was like, guess what, bitches? We are going to Google this
Wikipedia
shit.
University.
Right. Actually, do not use Wikipedia.
Oh my God.
I know it's shocking, but I Googled Albus Dumbledore mental illness because I was like, we're going for it.
And did you get lots of hits?
So yeah. And you know what the number one thing was? I didn't find anything except narcissistic personality disorder.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, that's an interesting take on what I would say a lot of people would say is a beloved, character in a book, movie series. Anyways, so I don't know. Anyways, the other thing that came up when I Googled him was compensatory narcissistic personality, which I've never heard of. Have you heard of that?
That's not real. I don't know what that is.
I don't think it's real.
Compensatory?
Right. I don't think it's real either. So anyways.
That sounds like one of those. Someone made it up.
Yes. So, and you and I have talked about narcissistic personality disorder. I'm not going to rehash that whole. Yeah. This is mostly going to be like a discussion between me and you.
Right.
Maybe it'll get heated.
People are going to be like, I'll just listen next week.
If this is not your jam, I guess, then skip it. If you don't like Harry Potter, I don't know. It's fine. We won't be upset about it. But maybe it'll be good if you haven't watched it and you listen to us argue about it. Then you'll be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Anyways, so I've never heard of compensatory narcissistic personality disorder. But according to careersinpsychology.com, it's defined as a narcissist who displays passive aggressive and avoidant tendencies, which are ultimately an acting out of a desire to alter one's own social standing to others or self. And I have a really big chunk from a different article that sort of explains why Dumbledore sort of fits this. But I've never heard of compensatory. There's a bunch of like malignant narcissism.
Get out.
And I'm like, there's too many. Like, who cares? It's just
people
they
just make it up.
I don't
even know what that word compensate. Like compensate?
Yeah, yes, that's kind of what it means.
Compensatory. It's for personal gain. You're trying to manipulate how people see you. So in his instance, he wants people to think he's the greatest wizard of all time, but maybe he's not.
Yes. Essentially, if it's this is not in the of a payment, so it's reducing or offsetting the unpleasant or unwelcome effects of something.
Okay.
So I think I'll read the little blurb from the other article in a second, but that's I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like you're not.
I feel like everything's gotten so buzzwordy,
It is,
like
right.
As queen of Reddit, literally every time I read a comment, someone's like, I read some story the other day, and the first comment was like, we're using too many pop psychology and buzzword shit now, which I totally agree with. I don't think half the stuff is a real thing.
Which I make shit up in therapy all the time, but I tell people like that's my word.
Right.
But I remember I've heard of like a hidden narcissist. Bitch, it's all hidden until it comes out.
Yeah, so I mean, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Anyways.
So it sounds like this is more of it's not a narcissist as in I need to elevate myself because I'm amazing or I think I'm amazing.
No.
It's more of I've had some shit happen I don't want people to know about, so I need them to know like I'm actually cool.
Right, and I want to look better than what I'm looking at. So here, let me read this little blurby. So it was an article by What Culture, and we'll put this in the show notes so we're not,
stealing,
plagiarizing. They had a whole little thing. They had a bunch of other ones too. Dumbledore was one of many, but this was the blurb that they had about Dumbledore. So it says, they talked about the compensatory stuff, and then it says the behavior exhibited is used as a mask for feelings of inadequacy, guilt, and the need to prove oneself. Sufferers may seek to create an image of superiority and high self-worth whilst masking deep insecurities. They may strive for recognition and indicators of prestige such as titles, e.g. the Order of Merlin, First Class, Headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Supreme Mugwump of the International Confederation of Wizards, and Chief Warlock of the Wizengamot. I assume these are all Wizengamot, so sorry. I assume these are all titles he held at some point.
Yes,
okay.
They were, yes.
They might have a tendency towards boastfulness, and then it has a quote of his, "That is one of my more brilliant ideals, and between you and me, that's saying something." And display aspirations to glory and status as demonstrated in his and Grindelwald's early plans to seize power and rule over the Muggles. They may also rush through and therefore screw up important work for the gratification of success, such as putting on the cursed Horcrux ring. He also displays contempt and bitterness for failures and imperfections, viewing them as a sign of weakness, and frequently refers to himself as an old fool when called out on his mistakes. Evidence for Dumbledore's confident, capable, and superior demeanor being a front or an act can be seen when he drinks the potion in the Horcrux cave and the performance comes crashing down. He also lies about what he sees in the mirror of... I can never say this word. Erised, thank you. Clearly still plagued by the guilt of the past. Here we glimpse Dumbledore's insecurity, guilt, and vulnerability that he has so carefully constructed his persona to hide. I was like, wow, I was like, shots fired. Yeah, I was like, this is quite...
That's some tea. That's hot tea. That's black tea with lemon
and
honey.
A lot of other articles, which I did copy. Yeah. I didn't use any of their stuff, but they talked about the murder of, I didn't remember this from the books, but the murder of his sister and how he thought he was responsible for that. They cited that a lot as why he has got the personality stuff.
Yes, that was a big thing in the books because there was a huge fight between him, Grindelwald, and his brother Aberforth.
Yeah.
And they were like fighting each other, and a rogue spell hit her. And killed her.
Oh, and it was his spell.
They don't know.
Oh.
They were never able to confirm. But we later find out. You've seen the Magical Beasts. Have you seen those movies?
No, I have not.
Okay,
I need to.
I have a spoiler warning.
Okay, that's
which
fine.
probably you don't even know because you haven't seen those
Justin's
movies.
about to turn off his sound.
Well, I won't spoil it, but
oh, okay.
Because this isn't in the books, but his sister. Let's just say she was doomed to not survive anyways.
Okay.
So
she was one of those.
Not that makes any better, but
she was one of those.
One of what?
One of those characters that just like.
No. Like she was going to die anyway.
Oh, okay.
Like she would have died eventually. But I think part of that was he couldn't save her. He couldn't from that thing I won't tell you about, which is a big spoiler.
Well, and you kind of like I said, I haven't read the books in forever, but I remember in the movie, in the last movie when they go and Harry, Ron, and Hermione go and they find Aberforth. in the whatever it is, I guess the
Hogshead.
Yes, Hogshead. I was going to say Hogsmeade.
I can literally tell you anything about Harry Potter you need to know, so don't worry.
Well, and I'm actually a very big fan, but like I said, I haven't read now you're like motivating me to read the books again for real.
Yeah. Do you have them?
Yes, I have. I have all of them. I have all of them hardcover. Thanks, my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Same. Thanks, Dad.
But like when they go and see Aberforth, he basically is like, fuck Dumbledore. I mean, he's like fuck that guy.
He's like, oh, you thought he was so great?
Yeah,
he was a big bag of dicks. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I mean, and in the movie you're just like, what? I mean, but then you realize all these people who like didn't feel the same way about Dumbledore. I mean, like as time goes on, anyways.
What makes you wonder, like, did they know? And that was the big thing in the books.
Yes.
Harry goes through this like, I mean, you know how I feel about Harry Potter. We've talked about it before. You know, he's like dramatic. But he goes through this whole thing like, do I know anybody in my life? Like, he goes through that.
Yeah.
So he does, because he starts finding all these things out about Dumbledore, like that he, was with Grindelwald, who was a dark wizard, like in his teenage years. And, he, like you said, put on the ring, like thought he could do all these things that maybe he couldn't. Like, what you thinking?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyways. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to get into some discussion. Oh my gosh. Questions. I'm ready. That I made up that I did not get from anywhere, so you might be really impressed. We don't know.
So you may have an 8-hour episode like I did with Natalia Grace, and so then it won't be me that's getting yelled at.
And then I will, yes. And then I will, yes. Anyways, we'll be right back. Wow, things have happened on this break.
There's been a lot going on. You know what?
Maybe we'll do an episode of just outtakes, and there was so much in that just little conversation we had.
But I think producer Justin deletes everything.
Yeah, he does.
So
yeah. Anyways,
fine.
Are you ready?
Oh my God.
Ready for? I'm gonna hit hard right off the bat.
I love it.
And this is like just you and I. This is our just our thoughts about this.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Was Dumbledore a bad person? This is not my hardest question, but I felt like it was right off the bat. Was he a bad person? Which I guess it really depends on your definition of bad.
I was trying to keep the therapist of me down because that was my response was, well, it depends on what you mean. Because his actions did kind of save the world. His grand plan did save the world.
We cannot argue that. Yes, he definitely he definitely saved a lot of things, but also he also
hid a lot of stuff.
It leads into my second question a little bit, but maybe I should ask it. Do we think he did some underhanded things to get where he needed to go?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question of this.
No.
Like,
right.
To basically deceive a child for 6-7 years, and then not tell him everything, but tell him just enough so he'd be like, all right, I'll do this. I'll basically die.
Yes.
And didn't say, hey, you know what's in your little brain? It's a Horcrux.
Like you're a Horcrux, Harry.
Like,
spoiler alert, but Harry's a Horcrux.
I think that was probably the biggest thing.
Well, I will say I don't think he knew at first.
I don't think he knew either.
I
think he figured it out along the way and then was like, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
And then Snape figured it out, and then that's when they did their little like, you're gonna have to kill me. Oh my God, I can't kill you, but you're gonna kill me.
I think he took some big fat risks that if they did not pay off, everybody would have been fucked.
Yeah.
Like I think he set up these things after he died because I think he knew they were gonna kill him.
Oh yeah, he knew he was gonna die.
So I think that, but then after that, like, I think of like, he gave Ron the Deluminator because he was like, well, Ron's gonna leave. Well, what if Ron didn't leave?
Right, right.
You know, like there were some things that.
Right. What if Hermione didn't figure out what that symbol was?
Right,
I mean, like it was just
right. Which she didn't. Harry's the one that was like, "Oh, I saw it on
Luna's dad or whatever."
Luna's dad's in Aphelios, and well, let's go.
He'd be a great person to do an episode on too. Anyways,
yeah.
I don't know if he's a bad person.
I don't think he's a bad person.
I don't think he's a bad person either. I think he.
I would rebuke the narcissistic whatever they called that.
Compensatory narcissistic.
Yeah, I would rebuke that. I think he was just a person. I think he was insecure. I like the root of what that thing is, but I would not call it narcissism. I think he was a person who was insecure. First of all, he was gay. First of all, so he was, and this was in. Technically, I mean,
the books happened in the 90s, I think.
The books happened in the 90s, but he was like 100 and some years old when he died. So we're talking like 1900s when he's a teenager.
Right.
You know, gay was not cool.
Yeah, we don't say gay.
It's barely cool now.
We don't say gay.
We don't say gay. # don't say gay.
1900s.
So, but then also, you know, he was a half-blood. Like,
that's true,
I think he did have these huge aspirations, which, like, what probably, you know, 17, 18-year-old doesn't. And I don't know. I think when he found out, like, oh, maybe I'm like everybody else, he had some feelings about that and wanted to overcompensate. But I don't think it was in a narcissistic way. I think it was in a self-preservation way.
I just think he
probably was a great wizard.
Well, yeah, he wasn't he was definitely not a bad wizard by any means, but I think he saw, I think a lot of it, like you said, is like opportunity. Like he took big risks. And I think he saw his opportunity and like, I could be a very prolific wizard.
Right.
And if I do these things, and that's what he did. I don't think he did everything great, because the next question I'm about to ask, I know what my answer is. I think I know what your answer is. But did he use Harry Potter for his own benefit?
Of course.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, yes, he did.
Yes, and
so DBT of you.
For the benefit of the world, for the wizard world.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
he had to.
Harry Potter was just like a little chess piece in his thing, which is not like, and it wasn't like he didn't give a shit about Harry. I think he did care for him.
I think he did.
I don't think he cared about Harry until Harry was really older. Well, I think he sort of was like, Harry's cool, whatever. And then he got, I want to say, like Goblet of Fire is when he really started like actually giving a shit about Harry.
Yeah. Well, I think he did regret that Harry had to be used as a pawn.
Yeah.
And I don't think he predicted the outcome. I think he thought Harry would die.
Yes.
And when Harry did not.
Yes.
Because it was unexplored magic. You know, Horcrux being on like a living person. So I don't think he knew that. I think he knew that they would have to, you know, Voldemort would have to kill him. But I don't think he knew that Harry would survive. I don't think he knew that.
No, I don't think so either.
So I think, So no, I don't think that he was bad. Yes, he used Harry to his own advantage, but also for the greater good. I do think he was acting in the greater good. What was the first question? Is he a bad person?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't.
But he did some underhand things. Even his, you know, he was famous in the books they talked about. He was most famous for his 12 uses of dragon's blood or something. And it comes out later that he actually took that from somebody else.
Oh.
And it was just like he patented it first. Kind of like the whole Thomas Edison. But Thomas Edison.
I was thinking about Harry when he had the Half-Blood Prince book and was trying to pretend like he made that one, the Circumspentra spell or whatever. And then Snape was like, I can't believe you're using my own spell against me or whatever. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Hashtag awkward. Anyways.
Hashtag awkward. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Okay. Last question. Then we can have, I don't know. Should Harry have named one of his kids after him?
He did.
Should he have, though? Did Dumbledore should Harry have not named one of his kids after him? Should I don't know. I'm mixed because I'm just like, despite all like the junk, I'll just umbrella it under junk.
Yeah,
I think Harry has a lot of positive feelings about Dumbledore, but I don't know. Like I don't know if it was me that I would have named one of my kids after him. Like I don't know that I would have done that.
I think.
And then named him Albus Severus.
Well, let's talk about that. First off, the flow and the name combination
sucks.
Not great. Not great.
Asp Potter. Well, Asp, but
yeah.
A.S. Potter. Asp Potter.
I think.
I mean, you got to think he probably got made fun of.
There's that. Well, if we would have been at Hogwarts, for sure. Yeah. Oh, Asp Potter.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. I think it's hard because I don't think there's any outcome in this situation where Harry couldn't have been used as a pawn.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
yeah.
and I don't think he was doing it in a malicious way. I think he was like, damn, I got to do this.
Yeah.
I think he regretted that he had to do it.
Yeah. I do think he regretted it because when you saw, well, and this is obviously the movie, and I think it happens in the books when Harry goes to the Pensieve with Snape's tears, and he's looking at the map. I mean, he does look, and this is why I think this actor Michael Gambon did a really good job because that was such a complicated I need to achieve my own end for this outcome, but I also feel bad about what's happening, and I also feel bad about what's happening. Right. We'll make a TBT. I mean, you could have both. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know if I was Harry, I don't know if I would have made it the first name. Maybe a middle name.
I think, he had
like if you're gonna name a kid,
like 5 names to choose from, so we could have picked.
Yeah, why didn't he pick Lupin, Remus? Why wasn't it Remus? Why wasn't it Sirius?
Right. What's going on there?
Why wasn't it James?
Yeah. Well, he did have a kid named James, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think his other son was named James.
I forget. I know the daughter I think she was Lily.
Lily. Yeah, what were their middle names? Because it was Albus Severus, James. It might have been James Lupin, actually, or James Sirius. It may have been. And Lily. It was probably Lily.
Okay, so it's James Sirius Potter, Albus Severus Potter, and Lily Luna Potter, which is real interesting, the Luna. That
would be like me.
Why didn't he choose Hermione?
That would be like me having a kid and naming them like Justin Groot Potter. Like
Luna's a pet. It's fine.
Like, what's happening?
She was born in 2008. Isn't that gross? Ugh.
I don't want to talk about that. Let's move on.
She would be 15. She would be 15 right now. It's fine.
It's not what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I think. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done the name. I think I would have picked a different name. Albus is because his name was like Albus Wulfric
Godric Gryffindor.
No.
Almost. So close.
And then Brian. I think he had Brian.
He had Brian. Brian was in there because it always made me laugh when they would say it.
Percival,
Brian, something. Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, don't know that I would have picked that, but I don't think he's a bad person. I think when he was younger, he was young and dumb.
Sure.
Right. He got with Grindelwald. They were like, yeah, we're gonna be the best wizard ever. We're gonna find the Deathly Hallows and
we're gonna
defeat death. But then I think that was part of his fallout with Grindelwald.
Sure.
Is that he realized like, oh, you're trying to like take over Muggles. Like, I don't want to do that. And then as he got older, like, yeah, he had these titles, whatever. But then I think towards the end, like his death and everything, he was like, damn, like this is what's got to happen.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine being in that situation where you're like, I have to die. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, I have to die. Would you do it? I think I'd be like, shit, I gotta go. I'm gonna go into hiding. I gotta go.
I just got a call.
My mom's calling me.
Give me 1 sec. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Get that vanishing cabinet. You're never seen again.
Because I think I think he was a strong wizard. I think he could have, but he didn't. Yeah. He did do it for the greater good. He just had to do some, you gotta fight fire with fire. Yeah. Voldemort's out here doing some shit. So you gotta be out here doing some shit too.
Sure. I just want to say Albus Severus Potter was born sometime between September 2005 and August 2006. So he would be maybe 18.
Wow.
If not 17.
Wow.
Gross. Great. It's fine. Anyways.
Wow.
Well, are you ready for Fetch or Flop? It is Harry Potter themed.
Yes, because we have to stop because I could just go on.
I know.
About
we can do some more Harry Potter episodes.
Yeah, we'll have to do some more.
I'll have to read the books again and then we'll have to.
There you go.
Because then you'll get to see me real passionate about
it. And about the weirdest things.
Yeah, I'll be like, they were not true. Well, and my mom always says, and I'm sure she's listening right now, she always says when we used to go to the movies together that I would get so upset because it was not true to the book. Like that we would go see one of the movies and I remember reading the books before we would go see the movies again. Yes. And she was like, you would get so angry and you would just say how
there's
so much stuff that's just not in the movies.
And the director's like, well, no one wants to watch a movie that's just like, yes, I do.
Bitch, I do. Yeah.
I want you to do word for word.
That's what my mom would say to me.
I will watch that 16-hour movie and I don't even care.
That's why I used to tell my mom. I'd be like, yeah, I would watch a 10-hour movie of this.
Absolutely.
No problem. Anyways.
Absolutely.
Okay, Fetch or Flop. Harry Potter Drink Edition.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So, you're going to know the first one off the bat. I mean, it's probably the most famous thing from Harry Potter. Butterbeer, Fetch or Flop. Oh.
Well, now hold on.
The pause.
Now hold on. We have to talk. Are we talking about as it appears and seems in Harry Potter world, or at Universal Studios because I have had butterbeer from
Same.
Universal Studios.
Same. I'm thinking Universal Studios version, and I can give you a recipe for it that Justin gave me. That's a fake Starbucks version of a butterbeer frappuccino.
So I would love for that I would love to hear that. But if we're talking Universal, I'm gonna have to go with flop.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry, Universal, if you're listening. Did not like it. Did not live up to the standard of what I think butterbeer actually would be in Harry Potter world, which would be a fetch.
I'm gonna say fetch only because I liked, but it was better frozen than not frozen.
Okay, I went not frozen.
Yeah, the not frozen is
not good.
Big floppy.
That's where I was.
Yeah, it was
That's
not
where
good.
I was.
Well,
it was basically like 7-Up in like
it's like
root beer.
toffee flavor. Yeah,
it was not okay.
Yeah, we had both, and then Justin and I.
Well, I'll try frozen.
Frozen was better. Anyways, next one, pumpkin juice.
Never had it in real life, but again, as it appears in Harry Potter, fetch.
Yeah, I like pumpkin flavored. So, Lobe Blaster, which is a popular drink in American Wizarding World.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I just googled like drinks that appear in Harry Potter.
Lobe, like Lobe.
It's like an alcoholic. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just called Low Blaster because it makes you so drunk. I don't know. There was not a lot of description for it. It was just this is a popular American wizarding drink.
I would be open to trying it. I'll say that.
I would love a Low Blaster, especially after a bad week.
Who you telling?
That sounds a little rough. I'd like a low blaster, please. I don't know. I couldn't think of the word. I was like, oh no, that sounds a little rough though. I'd like a low blaster.
It's amazing. You know?
It sounds like it would be. Anyways, next one is giggle water, which makes you laugh uncontrollably.
Well, I again never had it, but I think fetch.
People be like, you guys drink that shit.
Can you imagine if we were? Yeah. Yeah, I mean today we are. Today
would be rough. Oh my god, could you imagine? Yeah, I was like, this seems like maybe. Anyways, it's gonna be a flop for me. I don't think I would like.
Oh really? Okay.
I don't think I would like to just like. I mean, I like laughing, but I don't know if I hate. Famously hate laughing. Never heard it. I never say this right. Felix Felicis, the luck drink.
Felix Felicis.
Yeah, the luck drink.
Yeah, fetch for sure.
See, I don't know. See, this is where I think it's fine because I don't think I would want to drink it because it would make me feel strange.
You'd be lucky.
I know, but
all your endeavors would come true.
I feel like that's such a bad omen, though. No, like I don't know. I'm so superstitious about that kind of shit.
That's the thing about that potion, though, is that you have to get it right. It's very difficult, and if you don't, then it can be very bad.
Well, and if you watch the movies and read the book, there was the whole scene of drinking that or not drinking that, and like giving it to Ron and faking giving it to Ron, and
I'm sure there are laws. Yeah,
I'm sure there are.
Yeah,
and then last one, gilly water. You know, when you drink it and it gives you gills and flaps, a la Goblet of Fire when they're doing the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be into that, so I think I'm gonna flop.
I know I'd love to swim, but I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, not like that.
I wouldn't want to grow gills.
I'm surprised you didn't get any fire whiskey out there.
I saw it and I was like,
yeah,
I figured it would be fetch.
I assume it's Fireball.
There was a lot of them where I was like, this is all gonna be fetches, and I'm like, that's a boring fetch or flop. But anyways, so I just picked the ones that I was like, oh, Low Blaster.
I've never.
I bet there's a recipe for that.
We'll have to look it up. Maybe that can be an episode. We just try all these like fake recipes.
Oh my god, could you imagine an episode where we just drink and tell people we're drinking? They'd probably be like, no, you guys stop it.
Right, you guys.
Okay, so it is oh nope, that's just a quote. Let me see.
Yeah, where was it? What was this in? Like what? Where was it quoted from?
Queenie Goldstein.
Oh, so the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
Those were set in America.
Yeah. So. History, appearances, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the original screenplay. Queenie Goldstein ordered this drink along with giggle water at the Blind Pig.
Oh.
It doesn't say what it's made of. I was just trying to see if there was like a recipe.
Well, that was set in like the 20s, I think. So it probably was whatever they made in the bathtubs around then. Vodka, probably.
Yeah.
Potatoes, all that good stuff.
Exactly. Anyways, well,
we've only scratched the surface. I'm like,
look forward to more episodes.
This episode isn't long enough. We have more to discuss.
Well, this could be the first of many. We could do like a Harry Potter series. Maybe like every other month we do like a crazy Harry Potter thing. But yeah. Anyways.
There you go.
Well, that was it.
That was it.
It was good to see all you peoples.
Next time we'll see you.
Everyone listens like you can't see us.
Yeah, you can't see us, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, next time we'll see you for a very spooky episode.
Yes.
Because we'll have one on Halloween.
Halloween.
So we look forward to seeing you then.
Yes. And don't forget to stay tired.
And petty.